And we are live. Hello, team. Welcome. I'm so happy to be here. And yeah, I'm alive now. I never know. It always tells me I'm live and then it says you're live now. So here I am. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, team. So happy to be here today. And I'm excited to talk about this topic because it's one of my favorite things to talk about. It's creativity. I speak with a lot of women who are busy corporate professionals who do not have time to fit creativity into their lives. And so when I'm talking with these women, they're very busy. They have no time. And when I start working with clients, you hear me talk about this all the time. Values. We uncover values, and probably 80% of the people that I work with have the value of creativity. And most of those people this value is actually not being met, which is one of the reasons why they feel a little unfulfilled in their job because this is an important value and it's not being fulfilled. So, first, I just want to remind you if you're connecting with this, we are all powerful creators. We get to create the life that we want to live, and we can, if self-expression is one of your values, creativity, and it's not being met in your life, you get to create that. Okay, so I'm just going to remind you before I move into the rest of this. Um, so the question would be, how do I fit creativity into my busy corporate life? Okay, so I know there are 24 hours in a day, right? And I know that you're busy, but there is time if you look for it. Um, so you got to make time for the things that bring you joy. Otherwise, what is the point of life, right? So, you know, I guarantee that if this is a value that's not being fulfilled and you find the time for creativity, whether it's painting, drawing, writing, photography, whatever that is, that's going to fulfill you. And when you're fulfilled outside of work, you're going to bring that energy into work. You're going to bring that energy into being a better employee, a better boss, a better mentor, a better coworker, a better wife, a better daughter, whatever that is. You get my point. So, how do you find the time, right? Well, I always say to clients, can you get up an hour earlier? Or can you go to bed an hour later? Or watch one less show on Netflix? Believe me, I get involved in Netflix and I can binge watch, but if you just maybe take one of those hours away and put it towards your creativity, there's something there. And, you know, some people get overwhelmed with thinking about this. And if you just start small, you could start with 10 or 15 minutes a day, right? So maybe you wake up a half an hour earlier, you give 15 minutes to your creative expression, whatever that is. This is going, like, once you start building on it, you're going to start feeling more and more motivated, right? So you're going to start seeing progress. So if you're journaling, like I journal every morning, um, you know, you're going to start seeing your pages get full. You're going to start reading back and you're going to start reading your writing and what you wrote, and that's going to be motivating. Or if it's painting, you know, maybe you have an art journal that's getting filled up with your art. That's going to be motivating. And so how does expressing your creativity help you at work? Why do you want to do this? How is that going to help you? Well, creativity reduces stress and anxiety. So if you are working hard, you are, you know, are tired at the end of the day, you're anxious, setting aside that 15 minutes is going to reduce the stress. When you are focused on something, you're giving your mind a break, you know, and when you're giving your mind a break, the anxiety goes away and you're kind of in that flow state, right? That's the ultimate, is getting into that flow state. That reduces stress. And when your stress is lower, you're going to be more calm at work, right? So creativity reduces stress and anxiety. Creativity also boosts confidence levels. Believe it or not, like I said, when you are creating something over time, you're dedicating yourself to this craft, you're going to get better at it. You're going to see the progress. You're bound to notice that there's going to be a confidence boost. And you can use this confidence. I mean, even think about in an interview, right? You could use it as a talking point of how you learned a new skill and how that applies to this role. Like I spent time dedicating myself to really learning this craft, and this is what I'm going to bring to this role, right? Or how you overcame an obstacle when you're painting, or how you drew something really complicated that was a big challenge. You stuck with it. So this can even help you in an interview. And creativity, painting, drawing, photography, I mean, it just makes you feel good, right? That's the whole point of it. It's, something called dopamine in our brains. It's an all natural antidepressant that motivates you and makes you feel good. And when your mood is uplifted, imagine how this is going to affect you at work. You're going to be better on your team. You're going to be better at your work. When I'm not making art, for a while, I just notice myself shrinking a little bit. But when I overcome the excuses, when I say I'm not going to watch that extra Netflix show tonight because I want to paint instead, that makes me feel good because I've dedicated myself to it. And so you're also going to have to set boundaries as well, right? So let's face it, the lines have been blurred between our work and our private lives. And we have to be better at setting boundaries for the things that we love to do because that ultimately fulfills us, right? So, you're going to have to set boundaries. And how do you set boundaries? This is a big question that comes up time and time again with my clients because they're so busy at work. Think about your workday now. Are you on Messenger all day? Do you have to be? Can you block off time in your calendar before 9 and after 6, right? Block off a lunch hour, like eat for half an hour and do your craft for the other half hour. Talk to your bosses, your coworkers, get them on the same page. Train them, as I say, especially if you're going into a new job, you can train people. But if it's within reason, um, you know, start setting these boundaries for yourself. And if you're a yes person, I know a lot of yes people because they want to please people. They're people pleasers. And so this is one way you can start practicing saying no to things that you don't really want to do so that you can dedicate the time to your creativity, this personal value of yours. So yeah, I've really built my career around my creativity value. Um, you know, I've always chosen careers where I can express that value. And I have found myself in a career where I wasn't able to, but I found opportunities within that role to bring that out more. I actually got to bring in a creative workshop and did a whole team building event around that, which is really awesome. That fulfilled that value for me. And if I couldn't do it within work, I would do it outside of work. So managing bands, organizing art shows, getting up early and working on my own art, things like that. So it's really dedication. If this is a value of yours and it's not being met, there are things that you can do. You've got to create the time. You've got to make a stand for this value of yours. And so I'm just wondering if any of this is resonating for any of you. Just, put in the comments, yes. Um, and I really want to help you getting over those, internal blocks of work is overwhelming me. Yes, I know that it can be. Or I'm so busy. I'm too busy for any to do things that I love. And it's not true. You can. And if you can't, if you really, really can't, and this is an important value of yours, maybe it's time to think of maybe moving on or making some changes within work to help you meet that value. So I have a few opportunities. If you want to dunk your toe into that creativity value of yours and start bringing it up on the scale a little bit. I always say there's a scale if all of your 5 values, 6 values are, being met. So if creativity is one, is that at a one where it's nothing? or at a 10 where it's everything. So what number is it at, and can we bring it up a little bit? So of course I have my wild dreaming cards. The wild dreaming cards are really fun to, focus on a dream and give you motivation to keep, going with that dream. And we have create cards. And so if you don't know what to do, you can just draw a card and, hey, what's going to be my art activity today? It's a mind map. I also have a few uh, great events coming up over the next few months, and I'm going to put those in the link in the comment section below, so you can check those out. They're going to be really fun, creative events, and I'll put those in the link. So I hope this was helpful for you, especially those who have the creativity value. This is one of my favorite things to talk about, if you haven't noticed. If it is your value, take action today. Find some time to do something creative today. I'm going to do it because I have not been doing it. So this is what really motivated me to get on here today to talk to you. And my name is Corey Burkholder, reminding you to take action, feel the fear, and do it anyways.